Hello children, welcome to today's English 1 class. Me, Dhananjayan, your English teacher. Now, we will be learning about the chapter Nouns, Countable and Uncountable. We already know what nouns are. Nouns are the naming words. It can be name of a person, a place, an animal or a thing. Now, we already learned about the singular nouns and the plural nouns. What are singular nouns? When we talk about just one noun, we use singular form of nouns. When we talk about more than one, we use plural forms of noun. Now, that comes to the next chapter. It is about the countable and uncountable nouns. So, what are countable nouns? A noun that you can count are called countable nouns. A noun that you can count are called countable nouns. Uncountable noun. A noun that you cannot count are called as uncountable noun. A noun that you cannot count are called uncountable nouns. If you look at the different nouns that you may see in a room that you are sitting, okay, maybe a chair, a table, a fan, okay, a jug of water that you see, a bird, okay. These all are nouns, but they are different in terms of whether they are countable or not. So let's look at few examples, okay. If you are talking about a chair, you can count chairs like 1, 2, 3, etc. But if you are talking about water, can you count water? No. It is because it is an uncountable noun. So let's go through some examples. Sheep, we already know that, right? Sheep, we can count sheep, 1, 2, 3, etc. Bus, it's a simple example. You can count bus. Juice, you cannot count juice. Milk, it is also uncountable. Now, how can we write a countable noun or an uncountable noun properly? We usually use a, an, one in front of a singular countable noun. If it is a singular noun and if it is countable, we use a, an before them. If it is a plural countable noun, we use numbers such as 2, 3, 4, etc. or words such as many, etc. Now, these are used before a plural countable noun. Now, let's look at few examples that you can find in the room that you are sitting. If you look around, you might see chair. Now, how do we use it properly? We say a chair. If it is one chair or a chair. If you see a bird outside, you call it a bird. If you see a flower, you may say a flower. But instead, if you are finding cheese in the fridge, what will you call it? Cheese cannot be called as a cheese. We simply call it cheese. Such as water, we call it water. We cannot use a, an or one in front of these. Now, that comes to the next point, uncountable nouns. If we cannot use these words before uncountable nouns, what can we use? How can we describe how much or the quantity of those uncountable nouns? Now, preferably we use certain words such as a piece of, a cup of, a tube of, a spoon of, a jug of, a pinch of. We can use them to tell the quantity of uncountable nouns. Or we use similar words such as little, some, few, etc. Okay, so let us just look at few examples of this. A pinch of salt. If you are taking salt, you can say that you may add a pinch of salt, because we cannot usually say 1, 2, 3 salt, etc. We use pinch of salt. If you are looking at water that is kept inside a jug, you can say that's a jug of water. That is a jug of water. Or if you are looking at sugar and you have to take and add it in something, you may say add a spoon of sugar. Add a spoon of sugar. Now, if you are looking at a chocolate or a candy bar, you may say a bar of chocolate. You may say a bar of chocolate. Or if you are looking at juice kept inside a glass, you may say a glass of juice. A glass of juice. If you come across tea kept in a cup, you call it a cup of tea. A cup of tea. So this is how we use countable nouns and uncountable nouns. I hope you understood and enjoyed the class. Thank you and have a nice day.